So what I think is the biggest difference between B2C and B2B influencer marketing is in B2C, the sales cycle is really much shorter, right? You can see something online, somebody's wearing it, you like it, you can click on a link and you can buy it. In B2B, the sales cycle is much longer. It can be anywhere from 6 months to several years. So you're looking to create many different touch points along the customer journey with influencers than just a click. So the biggest difference is the length of the sales cycle, and that really determines the types of things that you'll do with influencers. In both, you create and can co-create content with influencers. In B2B, you're getting much deeper into the funnel, so you're not looking just for awareness and demand gen. You're looking for maybe doing influencer marketing as ABM. And you're looking at influencer marketing in your nurture cycle as well, whereas in B2C, your nurture cycle is much shorter. So when you're looking for an influencer, there are many differences in between B2C and B2B influencers, right? B2C are way more social. That's how they've built their audience, is on their social networks. So on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, in Asia, the line, wherever they've built up their audience, that's where you're going to want to engage with them. And in B2B, influencers are also not as much on social. We find like LinkedIn is probably the best platform in B2B, but they're also speaking at industry and business conferences. They can be authors and academics. They can be analysts. So it's not your everyday person that's going to be a B2B influencer like in B2C. So that's some of the main differences between when you're looking for a B2C influencer and a B2B influencer. So some of the tips for finding really great collaboration with influencers is to be open to creative ideas and also not to be so controlling. So what I mean by that is everyone wants to get their message out, and you have your marketing message and you're hoping that the influencer will parrot your marketing message. And that's not really the point of good influencer marketing. You are looking for that influencer to tell your story and help you tell your story in a very authentic way to their audience. You're also looking at them to bring their expertise and knowledge to your audience. So that's very different than taking your message and just parroting it out. You don't want to do that because that is not authentic. That doesn't build trust with the people you're trying to engage with. And it's not as engaging to that influencer's audience, and they'll probably get called out on it. But also, you want to tap into their expertise. You want them to tell their story in their way, and it will make your story much better also. The difference between influencer relations and influencer marketing is influencer relations is more about building a relationship, and you're looking to get awareness in the marketing funnel. So it's really through blog coverage, through social media coverage, through building share of voice to influencers' audiences. And when you're looking at influencer marketing, you're looking at deeper funnel activities like lead gen and demand gen. So co-creating content that not only sits on external sites, but gated assets and ebooks and podcast series that sit on your landing pages for your company website or in your marketing campaign. You could be doing joint marketing campaign with your influencers' content, and they may not be publicizing that at all, but you're getting their expertise to move your audience. So influencer relations typically sits in the PR function. It's much more about getting coverage and awareness. And then influencer marketing is truly marketing and going to market with your influencers' content ABM. You can do some ABM motions with them, and then also, having them come speak to your customers or developing with your customers and even co-creating with your customers directly. In the customer journey, there are many important points where we can move the customer down into the funnel or engage with us more. I think where it matters, and it's really important, one of the critical parts is when you're trying to get engagement with your audience, real engagement. How do you get your audience to watch a 5-minute video in its entirety, right? People have very short attention spans. You want to create really good high value content that is engaging and that will get people to give you their name and their email address because they're looking to further engage with you. So I think the intersection between demand gen and then it goes to lead gen, that is a really critical point. And that's somewhere where influencers can really make a great difference. And what I found through the campaigns that I've done, that in lead gen, we usually get 2 to 4 times the amount of qualified leads than we wouldn't if we didn't have an influencer and a customer together. And then in demand gen, we're able to get a lot more organic reach versus doing paid media to get folks to our site. So we're able to drive people to a page, we're able to keep them there, and then we're able to convert them. And I think that is the most critical point right now that I'm finding that influencer content and influencer audience can really make a difference. So when we're thinking about customers, your customers, I think, are your biggest influencers or brand ambassadors, right? Because they are engaged with you. They have bought into the promise that you're selling. They're enjoying your product or your software. It's helping them be better at their job, or they're getting some affinity out of it. So when you have that with a customer, their story is going to be very meaningful and very impactful to a prospect. So we think that is very powerful. It's super authentic, it's personal, and it's relatable to your prospects.